Hello everybody and welcome to another exciting list video. Today we're going to be talking about rogue cards that exceeded our expectations. And look at how excited Travis is. He's ready. His favorite class, rogue cards.
Yeah.
What do you like about rogue cards so much?
My favorite is how you have to win more to do good things with them.
Yes.
I think.
Yes, you love the win more cards.
You don't have to do good enough. You have to do better than good enough.
Yes, yeah. Otherwise you do nothing.
Without the tools to do it well.
Yeah. But there are some rogue cards here that have surprised even us to this day. And why don't we just dive right in and check them on out. First one here is we got I'm Out of Here. This is a zero cost event.
Should have been the last one, Justin.
Yeah, it should have been. Closing out the video. Bye, and then we just don't say anything. We go, you know what, I'll just do that. Bye, everybody. It's a trick and spirit. Play only if there's a scenario card with a resign ability in play. Resign, you get the hell out of here.
You know what's worse than being locked up in an asylum?
Mm-hmm.
No, wait.
Playing this card?
Sometimes.
No, yeah, I mean, it's just it's a panic button. And it leaves the decks pretty early on, because you know when you're doing it. But, I look at this card and I remember, I probably was I can go back to the review and check, but I'm too lazy to do it right now. I was probably why would I play this? And then one of you guys said, it does commit for 2 foot, though. That's probably exactly what had happened when we talked about this before.
It does commit for 2 foot, though.
It does, yeah.
It's also busted if you're playing the Forgotten Age.
Yep, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, how many turns can you get out of this card? So many. You just play your own game, and then the game's you gotta get out of here.
And
you've got no time left to do it, and you're I'm already gone.
And then everyone else is watching you being... And it's also a very rogue card, too, because it's just see ya, and then everyone's I guess we gotta just climb out the hard way.
Yeah.
He took the jetpack with him?
Yeah.
Just up.
You're just cool, I'm gonna go play with the cat for a bit.
Yeah.
You guys let me know when you're done.
Yeah. We haven't had a moment like that in a long time.
No.
Actually, that's not true.
No,
we had one recently.
Yeah,
Edge of the Earth. I died, yeah. Alright. What do we got coming up next? Easy Mark. This is a zero cost, 1 experience event. It's a trick. It commits for a book and a foot. It's myriad, which means you get 3 for the cost of 1. Gain 2 resources and draw a card. After you play Easy Mark as a reaction, you can play another Easy Mark from your hand at no cost. Travis, you like Easy Mark?
Yeah, it's a super cheap card to include in your decks that can play green cards to give you money.
Yep. Yeah, for just 1 experience, you just get 3 of these babies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very comparable in action compression to emergency cast.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get to play 2 of them for 1 action.
Yeah, I think that was our initial impression of it. It was it's emergency cash, but slightly different, and it's probably just fine, but it's really good, especially since it digs for itself.
Yeah, at this point now too, I'm not back earlier I was I'm gonna hold this for a bit, but now I just have an Easy Mark, I'm just gonna do this, gain some money in a card, and if I don't play another one, if I don't see another one, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's just good.
It's emergency cash.
Yeah. And then when you hit it, it's kind of sick. Also great with black market, because then you could play multiples. Everyone mono rogue we're all Easy Marks. Black market we get 6 of them out, just 5 of them out, and just go. It never stops.
It never does.
Yeah. And it's also I remember it was a dream card when you see it in a draft, because then you're I gotta get rid of so much garbage.
Yeah.
I just gotta put 3 great cards into my deck. Yeah. It's a good one. Easy Mark. If you haven't played it and you have it in your collection, give it a shot. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got Joey the Rat, the level 3 version. He's a 2-cost asset, ally asset, who's also a criminal, and he's looking out for number 1. He commits for a book and a foot. He soaks for 3 and 2, which is a lot. And as a lightning bolt, you can spend 1 resource, choose an item asset from your hand and play it, paying its cost. Or you can also, as a lightning bolt, discard an item asset from play, gain 2 resources.
The other version is garbage.
Yep.
And I assumed that this one would be very similar, but it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
There are a whole ton of items in the game that have a finite number of uses and then just sit there after they're done, or even maybe you just don't consume the last use and you're like, sweet, see ya.
Yeah.
Paid for itself. And being able to play items at fast is like really very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Particularly if said items are like firearms or, you know, some sort of tool for dealing with enemies. So then you don't have to, you can play them when you need them.
Yeah.
Not at a different time.
Yeah, I first saw you and was impressed by Joey because like he was basically just like a blind spot in my binder.
Yeah.
But I saw you play him the first time with Tony Morgan in a big guns deck, and when your guns were empty, you sold them to him and then put out a new one.
Yeah, because that's the most efficient way to get more bullets in your gun. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Yeah. And I was impressed, and then I played him in a Bob deck, and it was like one of the most disgusting things I've done in this game.
Yeah, I assumed that he was going to be pretty good, but it turns out that he's like kind of broken.
Yeah.
Like not like horribly game breaking, but like you know.
And it's kind of nice too because Joey the Rat, there's always like he was in Arkham Second, he was in Eldritch, right? He's just like part of the game. Yeah. And to have a version that's like not just binder fodder is a nice change of pace.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is one of the classic characters.
Yeah. And he's just he's a good time. I suggest I have a video on the channel which is the Bob deck that Super Fang showed me that had the basically just recurring Eon Chart and like selling your old keyrings for a profit. Doing it mid-test and then scavenging them back and then playing them for only one resource because your Shrewd Dealing's in play and it's fast and you just go again. It's a wild time, so you should definitely try it out. Next one here is we got Breaking and Entering. This is a 2-cost event. It's a trick. Commits for a book and a foot. Investigate. Add your foot value to your skill value for this investigation. If you succeed by 2 or more, you may automatically evade an enemy at this location. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. If you're careful, it's just entering.
If you're careful. Yeah, this one I thought was just going to be like kind of a cute card. Like, sure, sometimes you get 2 actions out of it for some money. But these days, like, I'm honestly pretty hard pressed to find a deck that can play green cards that I'm not like, yeah, I kind of want this. Can buy me out of all kinds of jams, and I get a clue for doing it.
And it's also nice too because if you're playing like any multiplayer, you see like even today you just see Bryn play Breaking and Entering, and you're like, okay, we are like able to work at this at a really good pace. It just has a lot of power packed in one card. Yeah.
I am hoping that we see like whether they do a return to box or not, but one of these that's templated the same way that the other.
Oh, the ones that can return.
Cycle.
That would be wild.
Yeah, where if you succeed, like, it costs XP, and if you succeed by X or more, like 3 or more or whatever, you return it to your hand at the end of the turn. That would be nuts, though.
That would be nuts, yeah. I mean, it does still cost 2, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's a card, if there's a card that you're always happy to see someone play, you know it's good. And it's the same with me, right? Like, sometimes when we do our card initial breakdowns and we're like going through it, I kind of go cross-eyed through some cards, and this is one of them. Anytime there's a card that tells you to add something to something else, I just like my brain kind of turns off and I just keep reading.
Yeah, something that I've learned about Justin going through some of these custom card things that we've been looking at is that he hates lines of text.
I do.
He's like 2 lines of text or less.
Yeah. If you can't tell me in 3 words, your story's too long. The dog ran. Has a great through line. You know exactly what the dog's doing.
That's not a story, it's a sentence.
A sentence that packs the power of War and Peace into a lot less words.
It is a lot less words.
You probably wonder where the dog's going, don't you?
No.
Alright, then fine.
Dogs just run.
They do just run. It's beautiful, isn't it? That's a good story. Dogs just run too. That's a great story, Travis.
What about the next card? Shit.
No, we can't.
We don't do that here.
Yeah. No, we keep talking about dogs here. Skeptic. This is a 1 experience skill. It's practice. Commence for a wild. During the skill test, treat the modifiers of each blessed token and each cursed token as 1 instead of its normal modifier.
Card's really good in cursed decks, or if someone's playing cursed decks. You know? Just like lets you actually pass the tests you're trying to pass.
Yeah, also lets you make fun of the Rex player at your table.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I'm cursed, and you're like, no, you're not.
Yeah. That's something that we say a lot on this channel. That is, if someone at your table is playing curse, you're gonna want to like have some plans to deal with that. Like luckily in Rogue, if you can run this, you're also probably able to run the Covenant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But just like the more things you can get to not have your day get ruined by someone playing curses. But even then, as you're saying, Travis, if you're playing curse tokens, this card is just like good for those turns where you're like, I don't want to think about those tokens.
Yeah.
Have them be +1s instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just like dump curse tokens into the bag. Try to set up a sweet Armageddon turn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You still want to pass the test.
Yeah, and let's just make them all good. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. Sick. Next one got here is Black Market. This is a 1-cost, 2 experience event. It's a favor. Fast. Play at the start of the investigation phase. One at a time, reveal cards on the top of any investigator's decks until exactly 5 cards have been revealed. Set those cards aside out of play. While set aside, any investigator may play any of those cards as if they were in their hand. At the start of the next investigation phase, shuffle each of those cards, still set aside, into its owner's deck.
You can't play skills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't play weaknesses. Unless they're like Agnes's weakness, in which case, like, why would you do that? You can just choose not to and have it shuffled back for a later problem.
It's true.
But then just gonna pile.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I suppose somebody else can play Agnes's weakness then? Probably? I don't know. It's kind of neat.
yeah, no, we thought this card was gonna be a meme when it came out, but it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it turns out 1 fast, draw 5 is like really strong. Even if you have to bend your deck a little bit out of shape to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like lots of assets.
Yep. Yeah. Or just like lots of events too, right?
Yeah,
Like those
yeah,
costs we play.
not lots of skills.
Yes, yeah. But even then too, like what also is really incredible about this card is that you can be like, hey, you haven't got what you needed, take the 5
Yeah.
cards to try to get there. Or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what you did once, it was Bryn once, we were playing Edge of the Earth and you were like, okay, first turn before we get going, how's everybody's hand looking? Who needs some
Yeah.
help?
Yeah.
Right? And like that's a big boost of the card too.
Yeah,
It's like
try
more
to
flexible
fix
compared to ours.
fix a mulligan
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
that didn't shape up.
And because they also last until the next investigation phase starts, any defensive cards like Ward of
Yeah.
Protection also trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you get a black market off of it, you can just black market that before they get shuffled in, which is also it's like really powerful. And we were just like, joke, this is funny, teamwork, haha, share goods.
Yeah.
But the cards are just like really good.
Yeah, no, it just generates a lot of value for very little in.
Yeah.
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 Sweet.
All right, what do we got next? Pilfer. This is a 4-cost trick event. Commits for a book and a foot. Hey, like all the other green cards do. Investigate. This investigation uses book instead of foot. If you succeed, discover 2 additional clues at your location.
Yeah. Yeah, this one, like, I was pretty sure this one was going to be binder fodder when it came out, because, like, it costs 4. But 3 is a lot of clues.
Yep.
Yeah, it has like 4 worth in it.
Yeah, obviously if you play, like, solo or two-handed, like, this card is
Yeah.
great.
Goes down in value.
Because very, very few locations actually have more than 2 clues on them.
Mhm.
But anytime you can get 3 clues for this, it's pretty sweet.
Yep.
Yeah, you can also play it in Rita because it's a trick. And
Yeah,
she actually
and she's
gets to
like she's
play the
good at it.
game,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Yeah. And then like it's another one of those ones you see someone play and it feels great. And then also like the person can like you can go crazy. A person can commit like it's just a lot of. You put like also like a nimble on this too. You're like grab the clues and you're like I'm out of here.
Oh,
Right?
also gone. Yeah,
Do we have any nimbles next? Isn't it?
I think so.
Oh my God, Nimble! This is a skill, commits for a foot, it's innate. For each point the skill test succeeds by, after resolves, you may immediately move to a connecting location to a maximum of 3 times.
There's so many move actions.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like elusive, kind of.
kind of.
Yeah.
Only fairer. Yeah, you need to pass the test.
Yeah. You know, it's like tacking on to stuff though. Like if the game
Yeah.
wants to make a grasping hands check, you can just
Go, yeah. Just get out of there.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm done here, thanks.
Right, play this with Silas.
Yep.
And then use his stupid fishing net to pick it up but still move.
Yeah.
Seems good.
You probably don't need to move that many times unless you're playing the Forgotten Age or like,
Edge of Earth, maybe.
Yeah. That is sick though.
If you do,
Yeah.
then that's a lot of move actions.
Yep.
Yeah, the card's just like you read it and you're like, that's neat, that's fun.
Yeah.
But like it gives you so much potential to set yourself up for better turns with something that you're probably going to be forced to do, like grasping hands, or something you're already doing, because you can evade and be like, see ya, I'm done. Right.
Yeah, you can even use it to do something like turning Finn's free evade into a free move action.
Yep. Yeah.
It's just good.
Yeah.
Green investigators have high foot.
They do. They say what?
You got to be able to leverage that somehow. This
Yeah.
is one way to turn that into not garbage.
Yeah. Because even if this one of the worst case, like apart from failing the test or succeeding by 0, right, which is like the card does nothing, but even just like being able to move once, it's practically kind of like a shortcut, right?
Yeah. I should be playing this in the deck that I played today.
Yeah.
Move so far off my track shoes.
So yeah, you do the track shoes, then you move off the Nimble, and then you move to a connected location.
It's like, oh no!
That is one quick Wendy. All right, last card we have here is Chuck Fergus, who looks just like Julie's brother. So 3 cost, 5 experience, O'Banion driver. Commits for a fist, a foot, and a wild. He's an ally and a criminal. So looks for 2 and 2. When you play a tactic or a trick event, exhaust Chuck Fergus, choose 2. That event gains fast. That event costs 2 fewer resources to play. You get +2 skill value or performing a skill test during the resolution of that event.
Yeah, I was pretty sure this guy was going to be like some sort of meme tribal card. And like fair's fair. He does cost 5 XP. It's a lot.
Yeah.
If you're playing Dunwich, you probably won't get your second copy until like scenario 3 or 4. Unless somebody's playing like Delve 2 Deeps.
Yeah. Which you should if you're playing Dunwich,
yeah,
which you should.
Admittedly, you probably should be, but
they should just like in the taboo list, they should be like, here's just take an extra like +1. It's like here's like a good job victory. Just have an extra +1 on this scenario.
yeah. I am hoping that we see like a level 2 version of him at some point in the future, so that you can play him in off green as well.
It's implied that there's a lower level version coming.
Even if he's just like choose 1.
Yeah.
That would still be pretty neat.
That still would be pretty neat, yeah.
But yeah, playing with this guy, when you have him in play, it feels like you're cheating.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I want the clue here. I want to evade this guy. I'm going to play breaking and entering. It's free. It doesn't cost me an action. I'm going to figure out what to do with the rest of my life. Because like I don't have to do any of the things I wanted to do this turn.
I've never seen him like in action. I think like it's always been like the times I've never seen him in a campaign, and then like the times where we're like doing a standalone, he's like, I'm Chuck Fergus on turn 12.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Because I think that happened once. We built like a joke for one of the Bryn's Madhouse before it went truly off the deep end.
Yeah.
And it was a Chuck Fergus deck, and when we played it, it was like, hey, I'm here. Hello. Scenario's done.
Yeah.
Rats. Right?
Jeez, goes that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we get to doing all rogues again,
Yeah.
maybe I'll play this guy.
I suppose it is. We can just cycle back. There's going to be more before then.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be really good too if like you can play like I'm like Preston, but he's one of the ones that can play green and red, so you can also get a flare to find him out, right? It is a lot of XP, but like he's kind of like important to your game plan, I assume, for your deck.
Yeah, the last time I played this guy, I played him with Gregory Gry in my deck so that I could play Calling in Favors.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's good. That's a great way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, one, if I can just use the money off Gregory to pay for my stupid tactics and tricks if I don't have him. And two, like, I want to have this guy in play. And then when he represents most of the XP I've put into my deck.
And then when you turn Gregory to your hand and you play Chuck, he gets to just like stand at the window and watch you guys like play video games as it's raining. He's just like, I want to play too.
I only got 2 controllers. I'm sorry. Yeah,
you gotta.
This card is nuts.
I want to see you play with it when we do a campaign that you're not forced to play. Wendy.
Yeah. He's crazy with the upgraded backstab or the upgraded Pilfer.
Yeah.
Where you're just with the Pilfer, you're like, for 2 money and fast, I'll take 3 of these clues.
Yeah,
Sure.
Or like 2 money, and then you also get the +2.
Yeah,
so
the plus 2
return
that you
can
need to pass by to put it back in your hand so you can do it again next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's just good. Although this might be more like gushing about the quality of recent green tricks and tactics than it is
Then him.
necessarily about Chuck Ferguson. But
I mean, a lot of these cards are like the tricks and the tactics are from like Winifred and Innsmouth, so they're pretty newer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point now, Innsmouth is old, but it still feels new to me. Damn it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Because we were just playtesting some cards for the first time, and we're like, hey, it works. We finally got there. But I mean, in all fairness, there's a lot in Arkham to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Oh, 1 second. Okay, we're back. Huge thank you to Tasty Toast, who also says Black Market. They are this week's patron contribution, which makes total sense. Also, weird meme card. How dare you steal our script that I wrote for this episode? I was worried when I wrote the dog bit that it wasn't going to fly, but it totally landed. Just right out of the park.
I thought the dog ran, not the dog flew.
Okay.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, I sent a different draft. I'm so sorry. Huge thanks to all our patrons, for everyone who's watching. What are some rogue cards that exceeded your expectations, and why are they also probably some of the ones we talked about in this video? Thanks for watching. Have a good one, and as always, GG's.